On June 6, 1944, during the early hours of Operation Overlord, the massive Allied invasion of German-occupied France, the U.S. Army's 2nd Ranger Battalion, under the command of Lieutenant Colonel James Earl Rudder, was tasked with one of the most dangerous and critical missions of D-Day, the assault on Pointe du Hoc. This strategic promontory, rising over 30 meters above the English Channel, was located between Utah and Omaha beaches and was believed to house 6 powerful German 155mm artillery guns that could wreak havoc on the Allied landings. The position was heavily fortified by the Germans, part of Hitler's Atlantic Wall defenses, with concrete casemates, trenches, machine gun nests, barbed wire, and minefields. Despite intense aerial and naval bombardments intended to soften the target, the Allies were uncertain whether the guns had been destroyed, moved, or remained operational, and thus the Rangers were ordered to scale the cliffs and neutralize the threat. Shortly after 4 o'clock, the Rangers set out from their transport ships in a flotilla of British crewed LCA, landing craft assault vessels, navigating choppy seas and poor visibility. The rough waters caused delays and disorientation, and several landing craft were pushed off course, forcing some Ranger companies to land at the wrong positions or miss the battle entirely. By the time the lead assault group reached Pointe du Hoc around 7:10, they were already under heavy German fire from above, including mortars, small arms, and grenades. The vertical cliffs were slippery and muddy due to the morning tide, making the climb treacherous. The Rangers used rocket-fired grappling hooks, ladders borrowed from London fire brigades, and sheer determination to scale the heights. German defenders tried to repel them by cutting ropes and throwing grenades over the edge, but the Rangers pressed upward, and by around 7:40 they had secured a foothold at the top. Intense close-quarters combat ensued across the cratered and fortified landscape, with Rangers engaging German troops in and around bunkers, tunnels, and observation posts. Despite heavy losses, the Rangers quickly discovered that the casemates were empty, no large guns were present. Acting decisively, small patrols, including one led by Sergeant Leonard Lommel and Staff Sergeant Jack Kuhn, scouted the area inland and discovered the missing artillery pieces hidden under camouflage in an orchard approximately 500 meters from the cliffs. The guns had been moved by the Germans to avoid Allied bombing and were positioned along a dirt road, aimed inland toward Utah Beach. The Rangers destroyed the artillery using thermite grenades, melting and disabling the gun mechanisms and firing controls, ensuring the weapons could not be used against the landing forces. After accomplishing their main objective, the Rangers found themselves cut off, surrounded by German forces, and subjected to relentless counterattacks, sniper fire, and artillery bombardment. Communication with Allied forces offshore was limited due to damaged or waterlogged radios, and ammunition began to run low. Despite exhaustion and mounting casualties, the Rangers dug in and held their precarious position on the cliff top and surrounding fields for nearly 2 days, repelling wave after wave of German assaults. They endured without substantial reinforcements until the afternoon of June 8, when units from the 5th Ranger Battalion, along with elements of the 116th Infantry Regiment of the 29th Infantry Division, finally broke through from Omaha Beach and relieved the defenders. Out of the roughly 225 Rangers who landed at the base of Pointe du Hoc, only about 75 to 90 men were still fit to fight by the time relief arrived. Most were wounded, missing, or dead. The mission, though costly, was ultimately successful. The German guns were neutralized before they could disrupt the Allied landings, and the bravery displayed by the Rangers became one of the most iconic symbols of D-Day. General Omar Bradley later stated that Rudder's Rangers had achieved one of the most difficult and heroic tasks of the entire invasion. The assault on Pointe du Hoc remains etched in history as a remarkable feat of courage, improvisation, and sacrifice, and the site today is preserved by the American Battle Monuments Commission as a solemn tribute to the men who scaled the cliffs and altered the course of history.